Alright everybody, welcome back to another video. So it's me match preview for the Hull versus Sunderland game Tuesday night. Sunderland look like a team with no confidence at all. The confidence looks shot to bits in our team with 3 defeats in a row. We got beat 2-1 off Charlton, 2-1 off Wigan and 1-0 off Blackpool. Just like to quickly talk about the Maguire situation for a little second. I know everyone's probably sick of it, but only 2 seconds. Looking at it from Lee Johnson's point of view, he was brutally honest with Chris Maguire and he told him, I didn't want you at the club, like, I've got no need for you. You can look for the clubs. 2 clubs come in for him and Chris Maguire turned them down. None, he weren't going to get enough game time. So, looking at it from Lee Johnson's point of view, he's told them the situation, he's refused to go to 2 of the clubs, and that screams out to me, he's staying at Sunderland for the money. There was rumours circling around social media that the players are down in tools because they didn't want to get Sunderland promoted because they know they're not going to be on big money and they're going to get moved on once in the Championship with Dreyfus coming out with a 60 million. Or Lee Johnson just simply doesn't like Chris Maguire. Nonetheless, that's all just rumours and speculations. We didn't know the stories behind closed doors, so that's all I want to see on the matter anymore. But from my point of view, Chris Maguire should be in the starting lineup against Hull. No question for me. In the last 11 games have won 9 and only drew 2, which is outstanding. They've only conceded 33 goals and they've scored the highest in the league, 73. Wilkes has scored 18 goals for them. He's done absolute outstanding on the right hand side, cutting in and getting some absolute screamers put away. Also, George Honeyman has got 13 assists. I wish we never ever let him go. He was Sunderland through and through. He loved the club. He cried when he left. And look what he's done for Hull since then. Another thing what the club, I'll quickly go off Hull. Another thing what the club's fucked up with. Barley, Norwich City. Got them. He's in the Premier League now. You know what I mean? And Kimby, I think it's a crazy decision sending him out on loan when he is a creative midfielder and he's got a load of pace and he's very direct as well. I thought that would have been a really good player to have on coming off the bench. Another thing they've done totally wrong, Lee Johnson sent Elliot Embleton out on loan, which is about 1,000 million billion times better than Scowen. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that, in my opinion, I think he is. I was talking to a few Blackpool supporters and they were saying they want him on a permanent. He is one of the reasons why they have made a really good run and got into the playoffs. Is all because of it. Not all because of Embleton, but he's a massive part of that. And we would have done really well with him in the team because we're running thin on midfield. Lee Johnson still doesn't know he's in midfield yet to this day. After the Hull game tomorrow, Wigan have only scored 47 goals and they scored 2 past us. So with Hull scoring the most goals in this league up to now on 73, what do you think they're going to score past us? Our defence is leaking goals more than they ever have up to now, with Wigan scoring 2 and Charlton scoring 2. We're running thin at the back. McFadzean, for me, he shouldn't be starting. He should not be starting. So with that being said, I'm going to quickly get onto my lineup. But before we do, comment below your score predictions and I will mention you in the next preview. Also hit the thumbs up please. If you're watching my video, just smash the thumbs up button. It just helps the video get pushed out. Thanks very much. For my starting lineup, in goal I'm going to have to say Lee Burge, but I tell you what, Patterson's knocking on the door. In the under 23s he's saved a few penalties in recent games, and with Lee Burge making howlers like he did against Blackpool, it'll not be long before I'm seeing Patterson for me starting 11. But with that being said, I'm still going to pick Burge. Give him a chance to redeem himself. Then at right back, if Conor McLaughlin's fit, I will bring him back in. If not, Max Power just there for cover. My 2 centre halves, it's going to be Bailey Wright and Luke O'Nien. Bailey Wright's trying to get himself up to scratch. He did look a little bit better in the Blackpool game than he did against Wigan. And Luke O'Nien for me, I'd love to see him in the midfield like most supporters would, but there's nobody who can dig a job like he can at centre back, and at the minute he's my first choice really. Even though with Bailey Wright, I would still bang Luke O'Nien at centre back. Obviously, when Jordan Willis would be fit, he would come back in there and Luke O'Nien in the middle, but Jordan Willis is out for the season, hasn't he? And then at left back, McFadzean should have been sent off against Blackpool. He was already going to yellow. He left his leg out. The player tossed his set over it. It was a yellow card. And he should have been sent off. He was lucky the ref didn't send him off. But for me, Denver Hume starts. I didn't know why he didn't start Denver Hume. Just couldn't understand it. But nonetheless, Denver Hume comes in for me. Then in front of the back four, the wise head, what we need in the team is Grant Ledbetter. In the first half, yes, he was at fault for the goal. But in the first half, he was coolness on the ball. Skelton was like panicking on the ball, conceding possession, and we were trying. Blackpool were looking to counter attack us all game. And when Skelton was running about and panic passing, Grant Ledbetter would just get the ball in the first half and in the second half and just come back 5 yards, look for the right pass. He would make the right pass off to the right or the left, and then he was the switch of play with D and all, hitting 70-yard passes on that man. And O'Brien was holding most of them up inside their half, inside of their box. Sorry. So for me, Grant Ledbetter, the wise head, the experience. His legs are not what they used to be, but so he doesn't need them. He just passes it off to people who've got pace, and he sits sometimes on the back line. So for me, he's got to start. He has to start just in front of the defence, and with him being in front of the defence, for me, it allows Winchester, who I'm going to say like alongside him, but obviously we know what Grant Ledbetter's plays. He drops deep, and then Winchester, it gives him a little bit of freedom to get forward, and that's why I put in Winchester. His physicality, he's much bigger than Skelton, height and width. So for me, Andy likes to get forward and all. Winchester comes in with Skelton's situation. He's just like, he runs about a lot, and then people think, oh well, look, he's chasing this, he's chasing that, and supporters think if you press and the team starts to press it, that's good football. He does a lot wrong. Didn't get us wrong. Some of his off the ball stuff is good, like he nicked the ball off the player's foot and then try and drive forward. But in recent games, even his short passing's off, and he was conceding possession a lot, and he kind of showed for shite. So for me, Skelton dropped Winchester in. Then on the right hand side, even though he did have a poor game against Blackpool, Jordan Jones, I think that's another player who's lacking confidence. All he needs to do is just knock the ball forward and run, and 9 times out of 10 he's beating the fullbacks, and he for some reason, I think it's confidence, he just wouldn't do it. He would like slowly take it down towards the byline, and then he would cut it back, pass it backwards to Power, and then Power was whipping one in, rather than just getting down the wing, then cutting inside, or just taking the play on, dribbling it past them. For me though, he still comes in now with Gooch. Gooch looked alright when he did come on against Blackpool, but for me, Jones. Then up front, Charlie White, another player for me who's lacking in confidence as well. Yes, he scored against Wigan, but in the first half, he could have had a hat-trick. He could have literally had a hat-trick. He just looked like he was lacking confidence when he was getting one-on-one with the keeper. All he had to do is chip the keeper, put a little bit more power on it, and it would have scored. But Amos did have an absolute animal game. Like, he was immense, Amos, for them. Charlie White, he is lacking in confidence, and I thought O'Brien did have a better game against Blackpool than he did. But nonetheless, that's who I'm going to pick. And then on the left-hand side, the man needs no question about if he's in the team or not, ever, of anyone. It's Ian McGeady. Yeah, but all jokes aside, he is probably our best player by a mile. So for me, Ian McGeady, his trickery, his assists, his place in the team for me is never in question. Then this spot, I scratch my head with. I would love Maguire to start, but I know Lee Johnson's not going to do it. I'd love to see him start. Then I was torn and thrown between O'Brien and Ross Stewart, because I know he's not going to start. What I would put in is Maguire and play him in a little pocket of space. I would probably just gone for 4-4, not like a 4-4-2, but I would put Ross Stewart on. 2 big absolute lumps up top. Teams have figured us out now, and we're going wing clear. Our creativity's coming from the 2 wingers, and then just pop the ball into the box, and hopefully we can win a header. Teams are starting to suss us out now. So for me, if that's our player, then we just play it to our strengths. We put the 2 big lads up top, and McGeady and Jones can try and whip one on the top. If not, if we're going to try and change it and mix it up like he has done most of the, well, every other game, he chops and changes. I will put on Maguire. Why not? Give him a chance. You put him on the bench. It's not just me who's singling out Scowen. a lot of other Sunderland YouTubers do the same about him and can see where he's costing us in games. Also, a lot of Sunderland-based Twitter accounts and Instagram accounts, they are saying the same thing about Josh Scowen now. And I think it is now time Lee Johnson stops with this nicey buddy type carry on he's got with Scowen and just lets him stop on the bench. Bring him on the last 10 minutes if he's still like pally-wally with him, you know what I mean? But you cannot start him unless we're going to get absolutely ripped to shreds and beat 2 or 3-0 against Hull. With that being said, I've gone again for a Sunderland 1-0, my heart says, but I think my head's telling us 2-0 to Hull. With that being said, everyone, comment below your score predictions. I will mention you in the next video like I've just said. And also, please hit the thumbs up and tell your friends, your aunties, your uncles, your nanas, your dogs, everybody about my channel. And see if I can get to 2K for the end of the season. I probably will be live streaming the game on Tuesday. I'm about 90% sure I will. And I'll be doing a match review straight after the game. So wait about 10-15 minutes after the game and then come back onto the channel and hit the thumbs up and comment below what your opinions were on the game. With that being said, everybody, see you in the next video.